I'm Jim.
Wow. I'm Brenda.
We are Heartiness Approach, and there are 6 weeks till we go.
We missed a week. There's only 5 weeks.
And that's part of what we wanted to talk about, the week that we missed. Life always seems to get away from all of us, right? Things happen and we get surprised. We had a few surprises.
Yeah.
There was one day that somebody spent some time somewhere.
Me?
Yeah.
In the hospital?
Yeah.
Yeah, that. Yeah. Let's just say I'm really glad that I don't have COVID because my body doesn't react really well to the vaccine. That's okay. I'm okay now. And I'm a week away from complete immunity.
Yeah. So finally.
And he's had his first one.
Yep.
And we're glad. We know there's a lot of discrepancy out there whether you get it or not, but we're glad that we're going to have ours.
So right now people are saying, what?
Oh, our COVID vaccine shot. I didn't know we hadn't said it. Our COVID vaccine injection. I have mine. And Jim,
she's had both. I've only had one.
Right.
She got started earlier because of her position as a nurse.
Right, and we've talked about that on here.
Yeah.
And we lost a close friend this last week to COVID.
Actually on our anniversary.
Yeah, which put things in perspective for us. And we may have already said some of this stuff to you guys. It's just been one long month.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we've had a few little distractions. Safety and keeping us safe has been one of those distractions and one of those large items that has taken over our life right now.
Right.
Because of that, I am not working anymore. And I loved my job, and it just I just no longer felt like I could be kept safe. I have been tested 5 times. The last time with both the rapid, it was a double, so 6 different times.
You know, lots of nurses, lots of medical professionals have faced the same question, and for those who are in compromised kinds of situations, in this case age, it's very scary. It's very, very scary, and some of them have stuck with it, and they've paid the ultimate price for it.
Yeah.
With her position and what she's doing, the contribution to the health and welfare is not as critical. Her absence doesn't change too much for the people who are involved.
They think it does.
They think it does.
I think it does.
But compare that to a nurse working
in ICU.
In an ICU unit.
But every time I got exposed, Jim got exposed.
But the ICU nurses have a lot more protection going for them.
Right. So it was a decision that we had to make, and we did. Actually, it was a decision that my children and my husband wanted me to make a year ago.
Yeah.
When this all started, they did not want me working there. All my whole family are isolating in their homes, and I'm out, the oldest one, almost oldest one, out there being affected. Exposed. And so anyway, that's been a huge part of our life.
Big deal. I mean, emotionally for her, this is hard because
really hard.
Of all the jobs she's had, this is, I don't know, labor and delivery you really loved.
Yeah.
This ranks up there with that as far as what you were able to do, the day-to-day interaction and successes, triumphs that you had with people. Yeah.
Tried to adjust this a little bit. Anyway, enough said about that. It was a huge thing. And so I'm home. And absolutely, I've gone through some grieving. I teach grieving, but I have gone through some real grieving in not being able to help the people that I was able to help. And so I have thrown myself into my building up my own business that I plan to have and run in Missouri. And I have...
Which will be virtual, by the way. So,
yes.
Yeah.
I have several test clients whom I'm working with for my internship for addiction and nutritional therapy. And I'm really grateful for them and their help. And they're about to get their lives changed a little bit, should they be willing to do it.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
I think there's still a question floating in the air for a few people. They're saying, hospital? Why was she in the hospital?
I think we may have touched on that the last time. I don't know.
We haven't made a video, so there's no way we've touched on it.
I got super dehydrated, guys. super dehydrated, and I had to go in for an IV.
Multiple weeks of dehydration from diarrhea. It was...
We don't have to say the word.
They're wondering.
Thanks.
The question was there. I could see it floating in the air out there.
Anyway, yeah. Is that enough now? Can we stop on that?
Multiple weeks, and it was getting worse and worse. Right. She actually went to a clinic and to see a medical person there to have it evaluated. And after a few days of no response, no reaction, nothing moving forward, and she's getting worse, we called in the morning, actually stopped by in the morning, to get the response from them where they were, nothing. So I took her straight to the emergency room because at that point we didn't have time to wait for whatever it was they were waiting for. She needed to be looked at. I mean,
and by the way, we've never heard from them.
No, we haven't, which is
frustrating.
Waiting for them wouldn't have been a good choice, and it is frustrating.
And I mean, they took every blood test in the world. I'm like, are you leaving some blood in there for me? But boy, they started an IV and started fluids right away.
Yeah.
So, and I felt so much better. So anyway,
and it turned things around. Now at this point, really the only solution were prebiotics, probiotics,
which I am taking religiously right now, and my fermented cabbage that I've made, and my kefir, and all of that. I'm just trying to get all the microbiome back to the way that it needs. So now we're both at home. We're counting down, but we're not really sure what we're counting down to right now because it was my last day of work. Right now we're staying long enough for you to get your vaccine, but the real reason we're counting down is...
Oh, my school.
And where are we living?
Oh, yeah. No, that's the big one. I mean, they are...
Our renters.
And they're struggling to find a place. And I know we've mentioned this before, and that struggle continues because what they're experiencing is people are moving out of the larger city in the area, which is Springfield, and they're moving into the more rural areas, which means the few rentals that are available out around are being sucked up by people coming out of the city. So lots of places in the city to rent, but that's not... You can't keep cows in town, right? And that's part of what they're faced with.
Wow. I was being really polite and not interrupting. And
well, sometimes...
Oh, I know what I was going to say.
Sometimes you think...
I got it.
Okay.
I got it. You guys in our wonderful community have prayed many, many, many times, so our renters can use some prayers right now so that they can find a place that they can be. I mean, we know they're going to be out for us, bless their hearts. We just don't know where they're going to be.
They've got multiple children. They have their animals. There's a lot of challenge there in finding a place.
And we're keeping their animals there,
yes.
So that's not a problem.
But they want their animals.
I know.
And so that's what they're looking for, is that kind of a solution.
Anyway, so a few challenges, and we grow from our challenges, and we're growing.
We ought to be 10 foot tall.
So Jim is working on his school. He's in a really tough semester. He's got 5 classes, and we're going to be moving during part of that time. So that's tough. we are actually sitting on the floor in the kitchen part of our RV. Why are we doing that? Because
why are we doing that?
Because there's really no couches available right now. We are moving, meaning we are packing up our RV and getting it ready to sell next week. And when it sells, then we will be moving into our daughter's spare bedroom for the last few weeks that we're here. So lots of changes, lots of things happening.
Life goes on.
Life goes on. We've been catching up with some of our YouTube friends that we have been following for a long time. I just never had time. And so I put them on just to help me get through. I've watched Justin's and Rebecca. I mean, Justin and Rebecca's getting ready to pop.
Yes.
As her little snowball coming out. And the Holler family that we've been watching, and
Roots
and Refuge, and we're so excited to go home, and we have niece and nephew in Arkansas that we may
just move there.
May slip over and see if we leave here a little early. So we'll just see what we need to do. Anyway. We love you guys. Thank you for your support and your prayers. And sorry it's been a couple weeks since we've been on. Bye-bye.
Take care.